Welcome back to Butterfly Effect Tarot. My name is Lorraine, and today's topic is what would your ideal date night look like? So there are going to be three piles, and timestamps for each will be in the description box in the comment section below. If the messages and the readings resonate, please feel free to like and subscribe and let me know in the comments if you choose. To all of my subscribers and returning viewers, I greatly appreciate your support as always. Thank you. For newer viewers, welcome. And if interested after this video, you may return to the channel. There are other topics, videos, and readings there as well. For this specific reading, there were some messages that came through that were a bit different than what I anticipated when I first decided to do this specific topic. So how it's going to resonate and correlate with each of you is very interesting. So you don't have to, but if you would like to give some insight in the comment section, I greatly appreciate it. Simply because some of the messages and some of the piles were a bit perplexing to me. But of course, I can only give the messages as they come through, and that's what I did. So again, if you'd like to give the feedback on the messages and how they resonated and correlated with you, I would very much appreciate that. If not, I still appreciate your support, and I thank you for clicking on the video altogether. But now let's go ahead and get into each one of your messages. Welcome to your reading pile one regarding what would your ideal date look like? So I've already pre-shuffled. I generally do pull 5 cards. 7 cards came out for your group. So I will go ahead and identify the cards that came through, and then we will get into the mini messages that are coming through here. So the first card out is the Nine of Wands, followed by the Six of Swords. And then we have the King of Swords, followed by the Judgment card. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles, followed by the Hierophant. Final card out is the Six of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck energy is the Four of Swords. So really quickly, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, masculine or feminine energy. The messages should apply no matter what. For this group, there's very much an energy of tradition, very traditional. For some of you, it could be very old school, a very mature type of setting or type of energy for your ideal date. Wherever the date takes place, which we will get into, but wherever the date takes place, I feel like it's going to be in an energy where you can communicate. With all the swords energy out here, I feel like communication, intellect, and intelligence is very key. So, for example, it could be like a nice dinner date, right? Where you can talk over, a beautiful meal. For others, it could be a walk along the beach or a nice walk in the park, while being able to watch the lake, or even a picnic on the beach, picnic in the park. For some of you, it could even be something as simple as a nice cruise, down the street where there's a beautiful view of the moon and the stars. It just kind of feels like something that is casual, but it's something where you two can kind of get a good feel for each other. Very much the energy of like a lady and gentleman type of vibe, right? So for the masculine energies here, for example, you probably would be wanting to open doors and offer your coat, pay for the date. For the feminines, this is the energy that would come about towards you from the masculine. They're opening your doors, they're pulling out your chairs, they're fronting the bill. With the Six of Pentacles at the end, I don't mind. I don't feel like anyone here minds fronting the bill, but I feel like for this group, it's very much yin and yang, where the masculine energy would want to show up that way and the feminine energy would want to show up that way. So this is kind of giving me, especially with the King of Swords, this is somebody who is very assertive, very direct, very clear, and very much, kind of an alpha. And then the Knight of Pentacles, this is somebody who is financially equipped, they take their time, and this is somebody who, again, is a gentleman and they pay the way. So I do feel like for this group, though, you kind of want a date where you're not feeling pressured, right, to do more. This energy feels very pure. It feels very authentic. It feels very much like something that is set up to build a bond with the person, an authentic bond, like two people who are genuine and genuinely getting to know each other. There's no mask. There is no, faking it. There is no trying to put on airs just to get to the bedroom. This just gives the vibe of we are just getting to know each other. We're enjoying each other's company. We're enjoying a nice meal and a view, and we're allowing ourselves to kind of relax in each other's space, right? With this Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck, this is about being able to relax, being at ease, being able to let your guard down. And for this group, I feel like that's important because with the Nine of Wands and the Six of Swords coming out first, the Nine of Wands is when you've been through a battle, you've been through a lot of experiences that have left you feeling, beat up mentally, emotionally, maybe even physically. And with the Six of Swords, this is walking away to onto smoother sailing waters. So this is an energy of you maybe in your past having dates, or those dates being with people who eventually became people that put you through it, and then you having to leave feeling dejected. Your ideal date is to be with someone where you could build to a marriage, build to a partnership, to a strong foundation. Because we do have the Knight of Pentacles, as I mentioned. And this is somebody who wants to build an empire, build to a Ten of Pentacles. And that's usually with your romantic partner, where you build a home, a family, a legacy, wealth, comfort. And then it's going into the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about societal norms like marriages, weddings, the family, the white picket fence. So your ideal date would either be with your future spouse, or essentially it would be with someone that is to become your future spouse. It would be your person. With this King of Swords, somebody that is clear, they're intellectual, they're direct, they're honest. This is somebody who is trustworthy, they're fair-minded. This is somebody who knows what they want and they pursue it with tact, with honesty, with clarity. With the Knight of Pentacles, but they also take their time. They like to build a sturdy foundation before going any further. They like to make sure that what they're investing in, or who they're investing in, is where they plan to plant those seeds and water them and stay the long term to watch them grow into something beautiful. And for this group, that's your ideal date. I feel like for you, the person who your ideal date is with is coming through a lot more than the date itself. It feels like there's a big focus on the energy of whom you are to be on the date with. It feels like that's going to be very imperative here, and it has a huge impact on the experience and the overall results of how the day turns out, especially with the Six of Pentacles at the end. This is the energy of equal give and take, equally investing in one another, equally, building with one another, both putting in just as much as they get out. So again, I feel like balance is very important, especially with the Knight of Pentacles out here and the Six of Pentacles. Yes, in your past, you may not have experienced people or even dates where you felt like both people were equally yoked, like you were equally yoked with them, or like they were on your level mentally, or like they were headed in the right direction or the same direction as you. Your ideal date is with someone who is. And as I stated, there's a lot of energy of maybe you perhaps being a bit guarded. I feel like for this group, either you have not dated a lot, or it may have been a long time since you have been on a date. And so for you to actually even go on a date, it would take a very, very honorable person, like this King of Swords energy. And for the masculines here, this is your energy. And for you, obviously, your ideal date would be where you're able to embody this energy and maybe not feel taken advantage of, or not come across or in contact with an energy who will not be honorable themselves. But I just feel like, especially with the Four of Swords at the bottom, it's an energy of wanting to be able to let your guard down and know that you're safe in this person's energy, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and also financially. For some of you, if not all of you, it's important to you that this person has career goals, financial stability. It doesn't mean they have to be rich, but I do feel like them being financially stable is important, because it lets you know just how stable minded this person is, how solid they are when it comes to their livelihood. Also, somebody who is generous, not necessarily just generous with you, but with the Six of Pentacles. This is about being charitable. This is about, philanthropy, the energy of somebody who looks out for other people, looks out for the less fortunate, and who is very much graceful in their giving, not just their finances, but their resources and time. Pentacles energy is about providing, but this can also be the energy of something or someone who is very comforting, very nurturing, very reliable, very faithful, and devoted, because the King of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles are very faithful and devoted energies. These are very grounded energies. These are the type of people who you can depend on them. You can trust that their word is their bond. These are the energy of people who are the man of their word, the woman of their word. You don't have to doubt them. They leave no doubt. And I feel like for you, that is important. as it should be for anyone, but especially for this group. Because for the Nine of Wands and Six of Swords to come out first, and then the Four of Swords at the bottom, denoting the energy of needing to be able to breathe. It's kind of reminded me of the movie and the song Waiting to Exhale. I believe Waiting to Exhale is by Whitney Houston. And the movie is, you can watch it. It's a great movie. But the song, it's kind of like she's, singing about all the other experiences in love that, one could have that may not have been well, they may not have been great, or they may have led to being duds. But then you finally meet this person, you finally have this experience where you can breathe, you can exhale, you can kind of relax, like this Four of Swords at the bottom, because it's like now you have this energy of knowing I finally found the one. So your ideal date would be with who you are meant to be with, or it would your ideal date would be with with your future spouse, where you guys are already together and just enjoying each other's company on a day out. But definitely somebody you can go deep with when it comes to everything, but especially when it comes to conversations and essentially the energies of life. Somebody who is wise, who can teach you something, you can teach them something, you can learn from each other, you can grow being together, and you can build together with the Knight of Pentacles. So this is a type of group that dates to marry, I feel. I feel like you guys date to marry, and your ideal date would be with someone who's also dating to marry and who matches your wit with the Six of Pentacles. Somebody who matches you on every level. With the Four of Swords, that's also about balance and stability. Again, somebody who matches your wit, somebody who can hold up their end of the bargain mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, energetically. This just feels like a wholesome type of group. There's a lot of energy of pure authenticity here. With the knight, with the Hierophant here, this is about pureness in relationships, pureness in connections, people who are righteous and who have a high moral compass. And again, your date could be something very traditional, but the energy of the person you're dating is what's coming through stronger here. So like I said, if this is a group where you have not dated a lot or it's been a while, it could be because of past experiences. So in your ideal, the way that you idealize your next date, or the date that would be your dream date, it's with someone that you would have this epiphany moment. They're the one, and you don't have to keep looking, and you don't have to keep going through any more duds, and you especially don't have to deal with the same experiences you dealt with before, because the Judgment card is out here, and the Judgment card is about the past. It's about letting go of the past and moving forward to something better, something different, something new in a good way. And again, for you all, you could have a fear of dating because of past experiences, and maybe that could be why there's so much focus coming through about the person that would maybe ask you out, or the person that you'd agree to go out with, because it's led to so many disappointments that there seems to be kind of a bit of not just so much of a stagnancy, but almost like an energy of being closed off. So you guys may be a bit closed off to romance or to dating. So for like the masculines here, obviously this King of Swords would embody your energy. But for my feminines here, you could be a Queen of Swords energy. Very wise, very intelligent, very smart, but somebody who's had to overcome a lot, and somebody who is very guarded, very protective over your energy, and maybe not even somebody that's currently in the energy of wanting romance. And if you are in the energy of wanting romance, you could be in an energy of being extremely picky and choosy about who you allow in. And as of right now, I don't think many of you have found the person that you would even be willing to let your guard down for. And that goes for the masculine and feminine strong to this. But I love the energy here. It's very wholesome, like I said, very wholesome. It's giving a lot of old school vibes. So for this group, some of you could be very mature, like very like older people. All of you could be obviously very mature, but this could be a group of those of you who are older, or if you're younger, like in your 20s or 30s, you could have very much an old soul, because this is kind of old fashioned vibes, dinner and a movie, gazing into each other's eyes, both of you kind of being a little bit nervous about whether or not you're going to have a first kiss, for example, at the end of the date. But yeah, I like it. I love this. I love this. But I am going to go ahead and leave the reading there. And of course, if it resonated, please feel free to like and subscribe. You can let me know in the comments if you choose. And if interested, you may return to the channel. There are other topics, videos, and readings there as well. But other than that, thank you for clicking on this video today. Welcome to your reading pile 2 regarding what does your ideal date look like. So I've already pre-shuffled and pulled 5 cards. We're going to identify the 5 cards that came out, and then we will get into the messages. So the first card out is the Sun, followed by the Queen of Wands. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles, followed by the Ace of Wands. And then the final card out is the Emperor. Bottom of the deck energy is the Seven of Swords. So for this group, there are quite a few interesting messages coming through. I cannot wait to actually get into the energy here. Really quickly, though, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, masculine or feminine energy, the messages should apply no matter what. Now, for this group, the way that the date, the environment, and the circumstances entail for the actual date could vary for each of you. However, the energy here for a majority of you has to do with a desire for like a rising tension between you and your date. With the Queen of Wands and Emperor coming out, these are two powerful, very authoritative, passionate, intense energies, extremely attractive. Definitely people who thrive on, the energy exchange. So I feel like for this group, for example, some of you, a date night would consist of maybe going out to an expensive dinner and maybe riding, going there in a limo or like a really nice car, being dressed to the nines, looking sexy, attractive, seductive, like the hottest couple in the room. For others of you, it could be, going on an expensive shopping trip or getting on a flight to Paris or Hawaii or Vegas, for like a 1 day turnaround trip or something like that. For others of you, it could be like something exciting and fun and playful, like going to a theme park or even going to a club and having some drinks and like really just spending the night dancing on each other and kind of feeding off of each other's energy, or a party. But for this group, and also really quickly, for some of you with that 10 of Pentacles at the center of the read and the Emperor out here, for some of you, your ideal date night could also consist of just being home, right? Just being home and enjoying each other's company, maybe having a nice romantic dinner at home where you both are kind of dressed up just for each other. But the environment, like the setup in the room or in the kitchen or the living room or in the bedroom, is very exotic, very passionate. It's very over the top. But for this group, either way, I feel like there's an energy here of passion, of desire, the energy of enticing one another. So I feel like for this group, your ideal date would consist of a rising tension between you and your partner. It doesn't matter where you would go for the date when it comes to this energy. This is kind of given the energy of maybe you're, for example, at an expensive dinner and you guys are both looking great. Maybe there are others observing you because, as I stated, the Queen of Wands and the Emperor are both energies who attract attention naturally, as they should. But it's like you're sitting at the table and you're like exchanging energy. Like maybe you are rubbing your foot up against their leg, or if you're in this situation where you're at a club and you had a few drinks and you're dancing, it's like grinding on each other. There's an energy here of you two kind of enticing each other, like trying to push each other to the brink. But for a majority of you, this is suggesting it would be in an environment where you can't actually explore each other. And for others of you with that Seven of Swords at the bottom, this is an energy of maybe perhaps sneaking away to the bathroom or to somewhere to explore each other, and to get those passions out. But there's something very exciting, very exhilarating, something about the adrenaline pumping, but it's fun. It's also playful. And for this group, I do feel like you are very attractive people. How you view yourself is really up to you, but based on these cards, the Queen of Wands and Emperor, these are very attractive people. I feel like for this group, a majority of you, your ideal date would be with your future spouse, because we do have the Ten of Pentacles out here, which is the card of family and legacy, and then we have the Emperor, which is the husband and the father figure. So I do feel like for this group, your ideal date would consist of you being with your partner, somebody you've already built a ten of Pentacles with. You have wealth, you have abundance, you have free time and energy, and you both are, well taken care of, and your home is well taken care of. There's a bond here. Or it's with someone who you would eventually lead to building a Ten of Pentacles with. But I guess maybe for this group, because of the dynamics of what your ideal date consists of, it would have to be with this type of a person. There needs to be a trust here, because with this energy, I feel like, especially the feminine energy, you may be a seductress. You may be somebody who likes to entice your partner. You're somebody who likes to kind of tempt them and kind of push them to the brink, especially with the Ace of Wands being here. This is a card where the wand is obviously sticking straight up, and it's kind of giving me an energy, it's kind of giving me a visual, but also Wands is fiery. And the Ace of Wands is a card of sexuality. It's a card of desire. It's a card of passion and intensity that's being flared up and stirred up. And it's coming out with the Emperor. And this is a powerful energy, but also very disciplined. The Emperor energy is disciplined. So I feel like the masculine energy here is a very structured and disciplined person, whereas the Queen of Wands is a bit more of a risk taker, right? This is a bit more of somebody who likes to push the edge and likes to get a rise out of their partner, especially because this kind of stable, grounded energy that the Emperor embodies. So I feel like, especially for the feminines, you would love or enjoy being able to spend the whole night building the tension with your partner, building that desire, building that intensity, the way you look, the way you're dressed, the fact that they want you so deeply, so intensely, so passionately, but making them wait in a sense, or being in an environment where others are around and maybe they're able to see this or feel what's happening around them with you two, or it's just a situation where others don't know, right? With the Seven of Swords, nobody realizes or is able to see that you are, tempting this person. You're trying to get a rise out of them, but they see it. But because of their demeanor, or even for this group, because of their position or authority, or maybe if they're known, especially with the Queen of Wands and the Emperor, they have to keep it together. But it's difficult with this Ace of Wands. And for my masculines drawn to this, I feel like maybe for you, it would be you being, tempted by your feminine energy, that you're on the date with your partner, with your date, being tempted by her, her building this lust and this desire to want to just ravish her. But I feel like it'll be an energy maybe matched. But I feel for this group, your ideal date would consist of a lot of kind of passionate intensity for most of you. Others of you, this energy is coming through, as I stated earlier, as just wanting to have fun, just wanting to do something maybe a little risky, or something that is kind of a bit, again, something that gets your adrenaline pumping, something that kind of you can feed off of each other and also feed off of the experience. Even if this is something as simple as being at home, having a, nice romantic evening with one another. It's you two maybe flirting with each other, dancing in the middle of your room or your kitchen or your living room, and just, kind of filling each other up physically, emotionally, energetically. Pile one was more about like the mental energy, the verbal communication. For this group, it's more physical. There's like a need to, I feel like if for this group, if you are the group of people where your ideal date would be with your future spouse, with the person you're in a, marriage or, a stable foundation with, I feel like this is the type of energy of a couple who never, the flame never dies, right? Like this is the type of couple where with the 10 of Pentacles, there is maturity here, there is stability, there is a sense of responsibility and duty and success. However, with these archetypes coming out, especially with the Queen of Wands, Ace of Wands, the Sun energy, there's still a playfulness here. There's still like this youthful energy within the connection where you two just can't get enough of each other, and you maybe love playing these intimate games with each other. It kind of keeps the spice going. So for this group, you guys could just be very you could be intense by nature, but for this group, I feel like it goes a little bit deeper than that. I feel like you get off on the fact that your partner wants you so badly, and you get off on the fact that you have the power to control each other's want, to control each other's desire, to push each other to the brink, and see who can push who further before the first one breaks, or before the first one is like, I can't take it anymore. And again, as I stated, for some of you with this a Seven of Swords energy of being sneaky or sneaking off, some of you don't mind, or you would, you wouldn't mind going off to your car, back to your limo, to, bathroom, in the club or what have you, to kind of, with this Ace of Wands, to fill each other up. I'm just going to be honest. Now, whether that resonates or not, it depends. But I can only read what comes through in the cards. Now, to kind of go way left field with this message, because this is going to be completely unrelated to the majority of the energy I'm getting for the majority of you. But just to make sure that I'm including every message that's coming through on a completely separate note, for a very, very, very select few of you, This could also mean with this Sun card, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Emperor, this could denote that some of you, your ideal date night would be like a family night, right? It would be an energy of kind of staying home and having a family night or going out to a theme park and enjoying family time. But for a majority of you, I'm not getting that. For a majority of you, these are my I'm looking for the right word to say for YouTube, but for majority of you, these are my very confident and seductive, sexy people. These are my people who are, these are my sirens. This group feels like my siren energies, definitely. And the masculines drawn to this, you feel like these authoritative, very alpha type of energies. But I feel like for you, for a majority of you, the masculine is drawn to this, you do like to be tempted and enticed by your woman. You like a powerful, passionate, intense woman. Somebody that's very confident in her power. And I feel like the feminine is drawn to this. This is your energy. Very confident, very much you know your power and you know how to use it. And in your ideal date, you would want to be able to have this type of playful, fun, exciting banter with your partner. But I feel like for this group, it's more than just words. This is again energy. This is physical energy. But it's yeah, this is so I like this energy. I'm gonna be honest. I think this is cool, especially for those of you where this is with your partner, where you have already built the Ten of Pentacles. There's stability, there's faithfulness, there's loyalty, there's this family, there's this legacy, this lineage, but you're still able to affect each other in this way. I think that's great. But I do feel like for this group, your ideal date night, it will the circumstances and the location would depend on each of you. You know, some of you you want something luxurious with this Ten of Pentacles, something that's exciting but luxurious and fancy. You know, like I said, taking a flight to Paris or a flight to Vegas for the day or flight to Hawaii. Um, Others of you, it could just be again going to the club and feeding off of each other's energy in that environment, having drinks and food. Really good food with this Ten of Pentacles. But it's definitely you two looking nice, smelling nice. Maybe all eyes on the both of you, but only your eyes are on each other, knowing that you are giving off an energy that makes other people maybe want you, but being solely focused and tapped into each other's energy, and it's just feeling so, this feels very erotic to me. Very passionate, very, very, like, this is a deep desire. Like, there's a lot of powerful cards out here. The Queen of Wands, this is fire, this is intensity, this is passion, this is depth, this is, with the Emperor, same thing, powerful, authority, intense, passionate. Ace of Wands, same energy. Sun card, same energy. That's masculine energy, that's fire. So yeah, I feel like just being able to entice each other, I just feel like this is a group where you want to enjoy each other's energy, and it's going and build to what it's going to lead to. Maybe spending the whole day just tempting each other back and forth, back and forth. And this could be with each of you, that the way that you do this may show up differently. Again, some of you, it could be simple as like little lightly rubbing each other's leg or knee. Again, it could be if you're dancing, just really touching in places that gets them going, kissing, light kisses on the neck, especially a lot of eye action going on. Like, this is the type of energy of, Queen of Wands, Emperor, their eyes can be very intense. And like I said, they can seduce with that type of energy. So it's like seducing each other with just looks, simple gazes, gentle smiles and smirks, little light touches. Yeah, I can go on with this one forever, but I won't. So I will leave it there. And of course, if it resonated, please feel free to let me know in the comments if you choose. Please feel free to like and subscribe. And if interested, you may return to my channel. There are other videos, topics, and readings there as well. But other than that, thank you for clicking on this video today. Welcome to your reading pile 3 regarding what would your ideal date night look like? So I've already pre-shuffled and pulled 5 cards. We're going to identify the 5 cards that came out, and then we'll get into your message. So the first card out is the Moon and the Nine of Swords, and then we have the Page of Wands, followed by the Lovers, and then we have the final card as the Seven of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck energy is the Queen of Pentacles. So really quickly, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, masculine or feminine energy, the messages should apply no matter what. For this group, it is very much an interesting reading, and we will get into why. But I do feel like for you, your ideal date night would be one that is fun and exciting, obviously. It would be where you are looking very attractive, smelling very good. You look very irresistible, very sensual and sexy, very enticing. I do feel like for this group, your energy is coming through as somebody who tends to be very independent, very much somebody that takes care of themselves and others, very structured, very responsible, and a bit cautious, but definitely patient. But I do feel like you could be somebody who's cautious when it comes to romance and dating. So I feel like for this group, your ideal date night would be with someone who pursues you and is very persistent in that energy, right? So I feel like for you, you're not really somebody who will immediately say yes to a date. If somebody comes along and offers a date to you, I feel like maybe because with this moon and nine of swords energy out here, maybe because of some experiences you've had in dating and romance in the past, you could be potentially a little bit closed off to love or more focused on your responsibilities and your finances and your career. But I feel like with the page of wands and the lover's energy, you would desire somebody who you have such a passionate, intense connection with that you can't resist the date, or that they persist and continue to pursue you until you willingly say, you know what, I definitely am going to take up this offer. But I do feel like with the lover's card, this is a transformative energy. This is an energy where there is very deep, intense, passionate, even erotic, undercurrents here. And this is an energy of a connection that you cannot resist. So I do feel like for this group, you would want to have a fun and exciting experience that does transform the way you view love and the way that you view dating. Something that kind of reignites this spark and passion in you towards romance. I do feel like with you being very cautious and then this page of wands being out here, that's polar opposite energies. So maybe somebody that kind of takes you out of your shell and you go and explore on your date night and do things that normally you wouldn't, like maybe going to a theme park and getting on some of the most scariest rides, or going out to a nightclub and having a couple of drinks and really enjoying dancing. It could, again, just something that's really explorative, something that's very playful and lighthearted and just fun and thrilling and a bit different from what you're used to. Now, I do feel like for some of you, this could be a past person that your ideal date night takes place with, because we do have the moon and the nine of swords, as I mentioned, and that's an energy of illusions, fears, anxiety about romance, but it's also due to your past energy, past connections and love. And then you have the page of wands. This is also a messenger. This is usually like a message of passion, a message of desire. And then you have the lovers, a connection where there's two people that continuously choose each other over and over. And then finally, you have the Seven of Pentacles. This is an energy of patiently waiting for something to come around, to come into fruition. So I feel like for some of you, if not all of you, your ideal date night would be with someone from the past, somebody that maybe you had an ending with, or that, it kind of, you two maybe just fell apart, you grew apart, but maybe there's some passion there that, between the two of you that you can still feel even in the absence of this connection. And maybe for some of you, this would be your ideal date night, having like a passionate new beginning. Because Page of Wands is like a new beginning. So having a passionate new beginning with, somebody that you view as your soulmate or your twin flame. And with the Seven of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles, something that you've been patiently waiting for, or almost like you sense this is coming back around. But for those of you where this is not a past energy, this is definitely somebody who can kind of, again, pull you out of your normal kind of routine. Somebody that makes you realize that it's okay to have fun and to kind of relax and be, not as serious. Somebody that kind of takes you out of your world of responsibilities for a little bit. Somebody that takes you out and allows you to do things you that will ignite in you something that you have not maybe felt for a while. Because for this group, you could feel very, maybe a little bit bored with life, or you could have felt bored with dating. And I feel like for you, there is a need to kind of reignite your desire for romance, or to kind of reignite your focus on love. And maybe you're aware of this, and that's why your ideal date night is somebody that would help transform, give you an experience that would transform how you view things, whether this is a past person or a present person. But yeah, I feel like I feel like for this group, it would be with this experience, because for your group, I'm getting more about the experience, more about the person and how you feel as opposed to the actual date. So for you, I just feel like it's not, maybe there's not a specific experience or a specific, kind of circumstance you would want to take place. For some of you, you could maybe want to be able to do something that is a bit out of character, like maybe hook up, right? For a very small portion of you, somewhere where the passion is still intense, that you can't resist each other. And this is, it leads to this. But for the most part, I feel like your ideal date night would be something that kind of you realize is with your soulmate, and you guys can have, with the Seven of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles, you can build, right? You can build to a legacy and an empire with this person. But it kind of feels like the type of situation where the connection never gets dull, it never gets boring. It balances each other out. With Page of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and the Lover's energy, the Seven of Pentacles, this is a balance. This is definitely a balance. Yeah, something mature, something stable, something grounded, but still something that's fun and easygoing and lighthearted and passionate and exotic in a way. But your group did, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of threw me for a loop because when I was shuffling and pulling the cards, there were quite a few different cards that came out that denoted a lot of heartache, a lot of painful endings. And for a minute, basically trying to figure out how that would correlate with your ideal date night, because the previous two groups were a little bit more straightforward. And with this group, I couldn't understand why it kept highlighting so much about endings and the past. That's why I say for some of you, this may be with a past energy, somebody that you had an ending with, but maybe you two still have feelings for each other. Others of you, it would have to denote ending or relationships overall that have left you kind of jaded a little bit about romance. And you want someone to come in that kind of is patient with you and consistent in their energy, somebody that you can't resist. Because again, with the lovers, that's an irresistible connection. It's hard, even for the Queen of Pentacles, as stubborn and stern as she is, as focused, as grounded and determined as she is to maintain how, her energy, the lover's energy would definitely pull you out of that. Like, this isn't an irresistible connection. This is something that kind of pulls on you from the inside out. This is like a soulful yearning type of connection. So I feel like, yeah, your ideal date night would transform you. It would definitely, this is what's coming up. Now you can let me know if this is resonating or not. I wouldn't be surprised if it, for some of you, that's not hitting the nail on the head. But honestly, for this group, yeah, it has a lot to do with a need for you to kind of feel differently. There's a need for you to not be so focused on mundane things in your day-to-day life and so fearful of, stepping out on faith and taking a leap of faith towards romance. And with the Page of Wands, this would be a persistent person. So, as cautious as you are, as maybe closed off as you are, this is somebody who would continuously make it known that they want you and that they would continuously pursue this passion they have for you and that they can tell you have for them, whether this is a past person or a new person. But definitely somebody that's very attractive, very sexy and seductive. This person would definitely be that. Very much so. Very exciting, very bold, very, intense in the most amazing way. And they will pull that out of you. No matter how much you try to resist, they will pull it out of you. And it will be probably with ease, especially if this is a past person. But yeah, this one was very interesting to me. Very interesting. So I would love to know how this one resonated, how it correlated to the honesty here, because I'm not getting a whole lot about the actual date, like the location, other than it would have to be something that is fun and exciting, something that is very different from what you're used to doing. This doesn't feel too much like a casual restaurant date, although it could be, but this feels more like spontaneous, like something fun and out of character for you. Yeah. Yeah, this one has me very intrigued. Very intrigued. So again, if you don't have to share, but if you choose, I'd appreciate it because this one kind of does have me thrown for a loop a little bit because I wasn't really expecting this type of energy. This feels like a lot of focus on a need to transform your perspectives and to reignite, that zest and lust for love. Because I feel like some of you have, kind of turned your back on it or you've not been focused. Even if this is an unconscious energy, you do desire for somebody to come along and help to, uh, transmute that past energy, something that's so passionate and intense and fun and exciting that it melts away again any fears and anxiety that you've had before, even if this is a past person where this anxiety and fear has come from. You two coming back together and that past energy no longer being something that, is dwelling between you. And then with the Seven of Pentacles, being able to patiently build or continue to build to a Ten of Pentacles with one another. But for this group, yeah, there's a bit of little heavy energy here. But I'm going to leave this one there. And of course, if it resonated on any level, please feel free to like and subscribe. You can let me know in the comments if you choose. And if interested, you may return to the channel. There are other topics, videos, and readings there as well. But other than that, thank you for clicking on this video today.